Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Still with you and our second segment on this morning's edition of The Breakfast Show. As promised earlier today, we celebrate the centenary of the Tutankhamun's tomb discovery. And we are delighted to be joined over the telephone by our guest, Mr. Sayyid Taha, antiquities researcher and the tour guide. A very good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Right, Mr. Sayyid, let's talk a bit about the importance of the discovery of King Tut's tomb. We are celebrating the 100th year since the discovery of this magnificent tomb that has captured the hearts and minds and imaginations of not just Egyptians but people all around the world.
Yeah. Howard Carter, when he discovered this tomb in 1922, he didn't expect that he is going to find all what was found in this tomb.
Yes.
So he thought that he is going to find a regular tomb like the other ones that been discovered before him. The other archaeologists almost been making fun of him, what he is looking for. Because according to the list of the pharaohs or the important pharaohs known from this dynasties, I mean 18th, 19th and 20th dynasty, already it's known and had been discovered. But Howard Carter was almost sure that he is going to find something in this valley, because he started to clear up to the original level of the dating to the time of the founder of the valley.
Yes.
Starting from the upper part or the innermost part of the valley, and he started to clear up to the level of the founder. And at the end, after 5 years of working, he found the tomb. The tomb, it is very small as tomb if we compare it with the other tombs around the Valley of the Kings.
Right.
And it is enclosed between two tombs. One, it's called Merimtah, the son of Ramses II, 19th dynasty, and the other one of, Ramses V and VI. And these two tombs being cut in the bedrock above the tomb of King Tutankhamun. All the debris and the rocks being taken out of these tombs being placed above the tomb of King Tutankhamun. Thanks to those workers, the tomb had been kept from the ancient robbers of the tombs that they passed during the late time of the ancient Egyptian history. And this gives us an idea why we have found the mummies of the tomb gathered in two cachets. Because the priests of the last time of the ancient Egyptian history, starting from the 21st and the 22nd dynasty, they've been worried that the tombs being robbed of the ancient robbers. That's why they gathered the mummies of the great pharaohs in two cachets. One, we have found it in the tomb of Amenhotep II in the Valley of the Kings itself, and the other one was found nearby the famous temple of that famous lady Hatshepsut, what we call it Deir el-Bahri. King Tutankhamun, as a historically meaning or political meaning, he was just a boy. He came to the power when he was, let's say, 9, 10 years old, and he followed his father, that the pharaohs considered him as a heretic king because he moved the capital from Thebes or Luxor, actually nowadays, to a new place, we call it Amarna. That place was called by Akhenaten Akhenaten, or the horizon of Aten. Aten is a new cult, wasn't figured in any human or birds or animal figure, was represented as a solar disk, and the rays goes down like hands, and was just the only one deity or god known by Akhenaten, and he wanted him to be, this cult to be as a cosmopolitan or a cult, not only for Egypt.
Yes.
Akhenaten being raised in the temple of Ra in Heliopolis, and he wasn't nominated as heir, was another one, his eldest brother, but that brother died during the time of Amenhotep III. That's why Akhenaten being nominated as heir after the death of his eldest brother. That's what we can say about Akhenaten. Even we are talking about King Tutankhamun, but we can't mention what happened to Tutankhamun without talking about his father, Akhenaten.
Yes.
Akhenaten has been raised in the temple of Ra. He's been influenced by the priests. So I think what was done by Akhenaten as the reformation, political and religious reformation, actually we can compare it with what was passed in Europe in Middle Ages by Martin Luther. The same idea, something to control what was done by the priesthood and to control their influence in policy, and he found himself as a puppet in between the priests, so he wanted to control this influence. So he changed the cult, and he followed what was done for Amen or Amun-Ra all over Egypt, and destroyed all these things. We can see that in Karnak and in other temples being erected for God Amun-Ra.
Indeed,
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Said, I'm afraid we are running out of time, but I'd like to thank you very, very much for your insight and for, of course, recounting a very important historical story here related to the beloved King Tut. Of course, where very soon, with the inauguration of the GEM, or the Grand Egyptian Museum, we'll be seeing the full display of the treasures of King Tut and all the amazing artifacts that were found in his tomb. Very soon, very exciting development there with Egyptian archaeology and ancient Egyptian, and of course a great tourist attraction very soon to be inaugurated here in Egypt. And that's all the time we have for today's episode of The Breakfast Show. We do hope you have enjoyed it. My name is Angie Meher. Many thanks for watching.